In this video, let's actually explore how to do merge conflict and in our Winter 22 zoo GitHub repository. And I will use the reindeer, which is assigned to me. And here it does have a merge conflict. So how do we resolve that? First, I'm going to show the version of how to do this in Git Bash. So let's get to that. And I will actually go to the reindeer branch. Okay. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull, actually, we're going to merge. And since I already downloaded the repository from us this morning, so I should have everything. And then this merge should actually shows that it has conflict. So let's do that. And I'm going to merge from main, and that's where the source of the conflict is. And indeed, that's actually what that shows. And then one important part is that it does showing that there is merge conflict. And there are 3 files has merge conflict. It's in the readme.md, the test.java file, animal test.java file, and then the zoo-main.java file. So let's use Vim to resolve each one of these. So let's take a look of what the readme shows. So basically, it says that the elephant and the reindeer is actually being added to the zoo. And in this case, we want both, okay? So when there's merge conflict, the choices are, you only want to choose one of them, okay? Or both of them, or none of them. So those are the 3 choices. In this case, we want to actually do is actually merge the 2. So how do we do that? So one thing is we want to actually look at what's on the head, which is the current on the branch, and then what's on the main or the head of the main. So let's take a look. And in this case, if we want to merge both of them, but however, I don't want in 2 separate lines. So what I want to do is add that. So this is what I have done. If you are not very familiar with VI, what I use is I use the insert key, which is I, to insert that comma. And then I use the delete key, which is D, and then I couple with the next key is W to delete words. And then that's what I was able to do. In between of these commands, which is the I and D, what I did was I have to escape the commands. So basically, if you are in inserts, you have to actually escape to get out of that. So here, let me double check if I'm actually out of the commands. And that is usually the terminal will flash or beep, whatever it does in VI. And that's how I actually know I'm in the command mode, okay, not in the insert mode. And one thing I want to show you is that if there's an insert mode, in VI, you will actually see the insert on below. So escape. Here, I'm actually going to save this file now. So :W to save. I can couple with Q to actually save and quit at the same time. So the W is actually short for write. Anyway, so I'm going to couple those 2 together, the write and quit at the same time with that colon. So basically, once again, in order to enter the colon comments, or the EX command line, you have to actually press a colon, and it has to be in the command mode. So enter, that will return us back to the bash command line. So now that's actually get the next files. So then animal, and actually that's not in the root directory. That's in the package zoo and animal test.java. Okay, again, the resolution, what we need to do is actually get rid of these less than and equals and greater than signs, including the lines. And unlike that one, is actually merging two lines into one line. Most of the time, what we want to do is we want to actually, again, is keeping none or one of them or both of them. Okay, so in this case, we definitely want to keep both of them, and not like last time, which is merging to one line. So what we want to do is dd to get rid of that line. And here, dd to get rid of that line, dd to get rid of that line. I want to actually include this as tests. Okay. So that should be it. And then try and quit. And let's actually do the last one. And okay. And again, in the main class, we want to keep both. In our case, and I can actually do at the same time edit. Sometimes you don't want to do that all the times. Sometimes you want to actually update the file at the same time if you want to do that, but that potentially can create a future conflict. But let me actually show that possibilities. No, let me show that in different video. So let me get that done. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here. Okay, I'm back, and after the merge, I want to make sure that the program actually is syntax free, and I have not actually checked that, and let's actually build it and run it and see if it's actually syntax free. I did have an error here. So let me quickly take a look of what's going on. And the problem is that my tests is not added, or my test environment is not set up. And when I merge, I actually did not merge properly here. I missed it curly brace when I was doing the merge. So this is the reason you want to double check. And one place to merge definitely is in using VI. And later on, I'm actually going to redo this using just the IntelliJ. So let's finish this up, and let's build the run this again. So now we see that both animal, Rudolph and Jumbo, is displayed properly here in the outputs. And then let's actually run the tests. And both tests, I mean, not both, 3 tests actually pass. Okay, so that shows our merge locally is done correctly. And now what we want to do is actually we want to push it up. So basically, before we can do that, we actually need to do is we want to add all the files so that the git status will show that the adding is fine. It's tracked. And in this case, it also included Elephant into this repository. I mean, not this repository, in this case, in this particular branch, which is reindeer. So that is up to date now, right? And that's have to commit resolved merge conflict from okay. And if it's truly resolved, I don't mean, this does not mean it's syntax free. This only means that you have resolved the conflict that Git is actually thinking that you have. And that pipe simple merging will disappear. And then we can actually push this up to the GitHub. Okay, so I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually not going to do that. So I can actually use that later on to demonstrate using the using GitHub's merge conflict resolutions tool. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see you in the next video that I'm using IntelliJ to resolve the same conflict. Okay.